Imagine standing on the ground, feeling the vibrations beneath your feet. It's the earth telling you that it's alive, moving, shifting in ways you can't see or even begin to comprehend. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of our planet, right under places like Yellowstone, something huge is happening, a mystery so deep and so powerful, it could change how we think about the Earth itself? What if I told you that the Earth's core might be on the move? Let's dive into the mysteries of what's happening below Yellowstone and explore how this might just be a clue to understanding the very heart of our planet. We've all heard about earthquakes, volcanoes, and even the majestic eruption of Yellowstone itself. But what if I told you that what's happening deep below the surface might be even more dramatic and mysterious than we can imagine? I'm talking about the Earth's core, the heart of our planet. The core is where everything begins, the source of our magnetic field and possibly even the key to understanding why certain areas like Yellowstone seem to be so active. You've probably seen pictures of the Earth with its outer crust, the mantle, and then, at the very center, a glowing orange or red ball representing the core. But it's not just a ball of hot liquid, it's made up of different layers, with the outer core being liquid and the inner core being solid. And guess what? Both of these parts are constantly shifting, moving, and interacting in ways we've only just begun to understand. So the question isn't just what's in the core, but what is the core doing? And more specifically, why does Yellowstone, a hotspot for volcanic activity, seem so connected to what's happening deep beneath the Earth's surface? Let's take a step back and start with something simpler. Think of the Earth like an apple. If you cut the apple in half, you can see the core in the middle. Now, imagine that core is full of iron and nickel, superheated to thousands of degrees. This is the Earth's core. It's so hot that the metals are in a liquid state in the outer part of the core, while the inner part is solid, made up of the densest materials on the planet. The core is like the engine of Earth. Everything else, the mantle, the crust, rides along on its energy. But what if this engine wasn't running smoothly? What if it was shifting, moving differently than we expected? This is where things get interesting. Scientists have noticed that the Earth's core may not be as stable as we once thought. In fact, it might be moving in unexpected ways, and the effects could be felt all the way to the surface. Imagine if the Earth's magnetic field, which we rely on for everything from navigation to protecting us from the sun's radiation, was suddenly disrupted. How would we know if something was off? Now, let's zoom in on a place we all know, Yellowstone National Park. It's famous for its geysers, hot springs, and of course the caldera that could erupt with the force of 1,000 atomic bombs. Yellowstone sits on top of a massive hotspot in the Earth's mantle. It's a place where molten rock, called magma, rises to the surface, creating volcanic activity and geothermal features. But could this volcanic hotspot have something to do with the shifting core? Could the core's movements be impacting what we see happening at Yellowstone? Let's dig a little deeper. You see, the Earth's core doesn't just sit still and spin, it moves in complex ways. The outer core is constantly swirling, creating the magnetic field that surrounds our planet. But some scientists believe that, in recent years, the rotation of the inner core has slowed down and even reversed direction. This isn't something that happens overnight. It's a slow, gradual process that could take decades or even centuries to fully unfold. But what could that mean for us? Could it explain the increasing volcanic activity in places like Yellowstone? Could the shifting of the core be a warning sign of something much larger beneath the surface? Think about this. The Earth's magnetic field, which we take for granted, is actually influenced by the movement of the core. If the core were to shift, it could change the strength or even the direction of the magnetic field. This could have dramatic effects on everything from navigation to our very atmosphere. The idea that the Earth's core is moving in ways we don't yet understand is a bit unsettling, but it's also incredibly exciting because it opens the door to new discoveries about how our planet works. But it's not just about what the core is doing, it's about what that means for the Earth's surface. Yellowstone, as we know, is sitting on top of a massive hot spot in the mantle, a region of intense heat where magma rises toward the surface. Some researchers believe that the movement of the Earth's core could be influencing the mantle, triggering changes in volcanic activity. This could explain why certain areas, like Yellowstone, seem to be more active than others. It's as if the Earth is telling us something about its inner workings, a secret code we've yet to fully decipher. Here's an analogy that might help. Think of the Earth like a car engine. The core is the engine's heart, the part that powers everything. The mantle is the engine block, where all the heat and energy are transferred. The crust is like the car's body, everything rests on top of it. If the engine shifts, the heat and energy could be transferred differently, causing the car to move in unexpected ways. In the Earth's case, this could lead to increased volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and changes in the magnetic field. The shifts beneath Yellowstone might just be the early warning signs of a much larger, more complex process unfolding beneath the surface. But before we get too carried away, let's ground ourselves in some real-world examples. We know that Yellowstone is an active volcanic area. In fact, it's one of the most geologically active places on Earth, with geysers and hot springs dotting the landscape. But Yellowstone isn't alone. Other volcanic hotspots, like those in Iceland or Hawaii, also show us how magma moves beneath the surface. While each of these hotspots is unique, they all share a common thread. They're connected to movements deep in the Earth. And while we don't fully understand all of these connections, it's clear that what's happening in the Earth's core might be influencing what we see at the surface. Now back to the question we're all asking, is the Earth's core moving? The short answer is yes, but the long answer is far more complex. The core is not just moving, it's shifting in ways that we don't fully understand yet. Some scientists believe that these shifts could be linked to volcanic activity, earthquakes, and even changes in the magnetic field. And Yellowstone might be one of the places where we can see these effects play out in real time. So, what's the big takeaway here? The Earth is not a static, unchanging planet. It's a dynamic, living system constantly in motion. And just like a living creature, it has its secrets, some of which we're only beginning to uncover. The Earth's core is moving, and its movements are influencing everything from volcanic eruptions to the magnetic field that protects us from solar radiation. Yellowstone is just one piece of the puzzle, but it's a big one. The mystery of the Earth's core is far from solved, and as we learn more, we might just uncover answers to some of the biggest questions about our planet. As we move forward, keep an eye on places like Yellowstone, because what happens there might just be the key to understanding the larger forces at work deep beneath our feet. The Earth is constantly shifting, and who knows what secrets it will reveal next. Stay curious, keep asking questions, and remember that sometimes the greatest mysteries are hiding in the most unexpected places. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey to the heart of our planet. Until next time, keep exploring and stay fascinated by the wonders of the Earth. Who knows what we'll uncover next?